Welcome to the Serious Sarcasm Podcast. My name is Jay Derosier. Everything you hear is purely my opinion and absolutely not gospel truth. If you do find yourself getting a little bit too worked up over what I say, feel free to take your opinion and, well, you know where. Now that we got that straightened out, sit back, relax, and you might want to get yourself some popcorn because it's going to be a long one. Enjoy the show, y'all. Yo, welcome to the Serious Sarcasm Podcast. My name is Jay Derosier. I'm your host, proprietor, owner, creator, CEO, I guess, all that good stuff of this podcast. Before I do continue, it is episode 4. I'll give this episode a title. You'll probably see it in the description. The episode's gonna have a title. I do want to give a quick shout out to the podcast doctor here in Orlando. This is where I shoot my podcast every week.
Hey.
So for those who are probably listening through the audio or watching the video, and you hear somebody talking and you don't know who it is Phil, the podcast doctor. So shouts out to him.
Thank you.
Of course. So like I said, y'all, it's episode 4. We 4 weeks in, yo. We doing good so far. We doing good. Yo, this episode's gonna be a little of a curveball to a lot of people. This episode, I'm going to be talking about more things that I guess are more, near and dear to me that I'm really interested in. I got a lot of grievances about. First things first. Also, whoever heard me say first things first, depending on how you finish that line, lets me know how old you are. So, first things first, Papa. Anyways, first things first, we're going to talk about the VMA nominations. So, the reason I want to talk about the VMA nominations, I remember there was a point in time where the VMAs was like the biggest thing in the world. I remember seeing Beyonce show off her belly when she was pregnant with, I think it was Blue at the time, right? Yeah, Blue Ivy.
Yep.
Jay-Z and Kanye surprised us with Otis. Kanye doing Runaway for the first time live with Pusha T. That one of my favorite performances ever.
See, brother, you're young.
I am.
You're young.
I am young.
I mean, I remember, man, Rage Against the Machine climbing on the stage and almost jumping off the stage.
Look, I could top that one. I remember Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, and Madonna kissing. Hey, yo, I think I was like 7 or 8 when that happened. I remember being like, there are women kissing on the TV. What the hell's going on?
Britney Spears and the Snake.
Britney Spears and the Snake, yep. I think, by the way, the worst worst VMAs I ever seen was the one they did in Vegas. Remember, I think it was the one with Chris Brown dancing on the tables? I think that was the worst VMAs ever. Chris Brown's performance was dope. I think what song did he do? This is the second album, I think. This is the second album of Chris Brown because he was dating Rihanna at the time. He did Wall to Wall, one of my favorite Chris Brown performances. Anytime he performs that song live, it's dope.
That's like the Blade vampire
right,
song,
it's
right?
that vampire video, yep. I thought that whole VMAs was trash. Well, actually, no. The one after that, there was one that they did like at Universal Hollywood Studios. That one was trash too. Besides T.I. doing "Live Your Life" live with Rihanna, I thought that was pretty dope. But besides that those 2 VMAs were trash. But anyways, back to my point, talking about the VMA nominations. We do want to give a couple of round of applauses to some of the people that were nominated. Round of applause, of course, to Miss Taylor Swift. She got the most nominations with 10. So shout out to Taylor. Yeah. Do want to give a shout out to Post Malone with 9. Morgan Wallen got a nomination. Ariana Grande, Eminem, Sabrina Carpenter. I think they all have, if I'm not mistaken, 6. SZA and Meg Thee Stallion got 5 each, so shouts out to them as well. Shouts out to Meg. You know, I love me some Meg Thee Stallion. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Lisa, Teddy Swims, and Olivia Rodrigo all got 4 nominations each as well. So shouts out to them as well. So shouts out to everybody who got nominations. To the people who maybe got 3, 2, or 1 that haven't shouted out, shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to you guys, creative directors. Shouts out to you guys' movie directors. Video directors as well. Shouts out to your labels for, helping you out on the videos as well. The other reason why I want to talk about the VMAs is because I remember, like I said, the VMAs were a big deal. I remember sitting down and on Facebook back in the day or on Twitter, live tweeting during the VMAs like, yo, this person got screwed, that person got screwed. I remember how big of a deal it was that, it was either Waka Flocka or French Montana didn't win Best New Artist versus Tyler, the Creator. And I guarantee you that video and that award decision has aged tremendously well. Tyler, the Creator is one of the best artists that's probably ever walked this earth, honestly, and that's my personal opinion. I stand on that. 10 toes down on that. But to be clear, when I say about the VMAs not having is losing that luster, that appeal of just holding that Moon Man. Granted, it could be because we live in a day and age that nobody wants to sit down and watch your entire music video. But besides whatever, I guess, Beyonce drops or Taylor or Bad Bunny drops when it comes to music videos, who music video did we really like wait on this year besides Kendrick Lamar dropping a Not Like Us video? To be honest with you, besides the Not Like Us video, I don't think I've seen another music video this year. I'm going to be utterly honest with y'all. And that says a lot about where the music industry has headed and the turn that it's had. That turn didn't just happen this year. It's been going on since, I want to say that this turn has been happening since the introduction of like Vine. And that's 2012, 2013, when artists were getting 360 deals and they were getting screwed out of their money. This has been going on for a while, and this VMAs is a point case example of it. The fact that I can't name you SZA's video that she got nominated for. I can't name you a scene from Sabrina Carpenter's video that she got nominated for. I can't name you the song that Post Malone got nominated for when it comes to his videos. So VMAs is not your fault. To the artist, it's not your fault. I think us as the consumer, we need to do better when artists are spending so much money and so much time into curating and making this art. When it comes to music videos, we need to spend time to just sit down and watch it. Myself included in that, I'll kick my back in on that as well.
Yeah, there's no budgets anymore either. I mean, you remember Hype Williams? He don't make all them music videos. They were like $2-3 million budgets for those movies.
Remember, there's no more budgets in videos anymore because of the age of like that 2009 to 2013 when dudes was just getting a iPhone out or like just a little. I remember that flip recorder or whatever little camcorder everybody had with the USB attached to it. People were using that to make music videos. T-Pain said a great story. T-Pain said he asked for, I think it was $500,000 to shoot a music video once. And his record label looked at him and was like, why would we give you $500,000 when this other new artist we just signed just made that same music video that just got 1 million views on YouTube right now with $35 in his friend's camcorder?
Oh.
So when T-Pain said that, and that was an interview he did like in 2014 or something like that, when he said that, I knew you guys who've been getting these huge budget for these music videos, like Diddy, I hate to mention his name, but when Diddy had that $1 million music video with Busta Rhymes, that's not happening no more. It's not gonna happen no more. That's the reason why a lot of these artists, especially rappers, most of the music videos is them it's B-roll from them making an appearance at the club, or it's B-roll from them buying a car, or it's B-roll from them hanging out with their kids or their team at the crib, and they just shooting the music video real quick. That World Star era, when we were watching every Rick Ross video for every song on his album, when it was just him standing in the parking lot with like 6 cars. Prime example, Rick Ross's music video that he dropped when he dissed Drake. It was him in his garage with 1 car behind him. How's expensive is that to make a good music video? Let's be real. It's out for the consumer, and it's the generation that I'm brought up in its fault as well, because we find a way to finesse the system without telling. We find a way to tell the music industry, like, bro, we really don't need your money. I can get my point across without needing your distribution. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel you on that.
It's our fault. It's our fault, but it's a good thing as a bad thing. I just wish people, when we do have artists like Morgan Wallen, SZA, Meg Thee Stallion, all the people I mentioned before, or people I didn't mention, when they make these huge music videos, I wish we did have a way that we can really show them love and really show them the support. Like, yo, this video was dope. I love the idea. I love the construct. I love how you did this, that, and the third, the effects, all that stuff. We don't do that no more. But, it is what it is. Speaking of effects in videos, I want to talk about a show that probably has some of the best visual effects I've ever seen on TV, and that's none other than House of the Dragon. The reason I want to talk about House of the Dragon, y'all, I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. I've read the book Fire and Blood that this show is based off of, so I have a lot of critiques. However, I don't critique it exactly to what the book is. What I mean by that is, for example, I forgot the kid's name, but King Aegon and his wife, his sister/wife, have 3 kids instead of 2. Those who watch House of Dragon, let me start. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Those who watch House of Dragons know that Aegon only had 2 kids, the twins, but he also had a younger child in the book. Whoever watched episode 1 knows what happened with the neck. The way that happens in the book is completely different than what happened in the show. I understand they got to take, what's the word, creative liberties, more or less, whether it's like, shrink the budget or grow the budget or expand on certain storylines. So I'm not going to kick the show's back in on that. What I'm mad about the show is, if anybody watched the show, and anybody who read the book and then watched the show understands what I'm about to say when I say this. That show took 7, 8, 9 episodes to basically tell about 2 chapters in the book. Maybe it's more than 2 chapters, but let's just say it took about 9 episodes, more or less, to tell about 70 to 110 pages of the book. And a lot of those episodes were filler episodes, let's be real. I understand what they're doing. They're trying to set up every plot line to tie it all together in season 3, because season 3 is going to, shit's going to go down season 3. I'm going to be honest. Shit's going to go down season 3, because I know what is going to happen. I read the book in its entirety, so I know what's about to happen. So season 3 is about to be crazy. But House of Dragons, bro, HBO, you guys have made a phenomenal show. I just wish you guys didn't drag us out like that, bro. It's kind of annoying to be like, oh my God, next episode is going to go down. You watch the next episode, it's like nothing happens. Yo, next episode's going to go down. Okay, let's sit in the room to talk. Let's sit in the room and politic. Let's sit in the room and do this. It's kind of annoying. It really is. It's kind of annoying. House of Dragons, man, you guys had a good season, had a great one. The Rotten Tomato score on the season finale proves what I'm trying to say to you guys. But it is what it is. House of Dragons, I gotta wait 2 more years for the next season, which sucks. 26.
Let me ask you a quick question though.
Talk to me.
So back when we were a little bit younger, when TV shows had seasons, there were at least 20 episodes.
Yeah, it was like 20 episodes, even if it was an hour-long show.
Now they just do what, 8?
Yeah.
10?
Literally.
And a break in between?
The thing is, I'll give shows like House of Dragons, Game of Thrones a break, because if you watch one episode of Game of Thrones, that's like a whole movie, literally. It's literally like a whole movie. I'll give them a little side pass. But even when the original Game of Thrones series was on TV, we didn't have to wait that long. Besides, between season 7 and season 8, when season 8 was just trash, I think we waited like 2, almost 3 years for season 8 to come out, that final season. Mm-hmm. So I get it. But like, for example, I'm binge watching an old ass show right now, The West Wing, because I'm so enamored about all the views on politics and all that stuff. So I want to watch a political show. I'm watching The West Wing and I'm watching The Newsroom right now.
You're old.
Yeah, they're mad old. And
No, you're old.
I was born in '93, man. Give me
I
a
know
break.
you old soul. You look.
Give me a break, man. Like, look. To be honest with you, yo, I kid you not. Maybe like 2 years ago, I finally watched The Wire. 2 years ago.
Okay.
Like, I watched The Sopranos a long time ago, just because like everyone kept saying gabagool all the time, because I had a lot of
Italian friends.
Not really Italian coworkers. I don't call them people my friends, but I had a lot of Italian. I had a lot of Italian coworkers. So I watched The Sopranos, and I was like, I see why people always reference the show for every little thing. But like I said, man, I like watching older TV shows because I can watch. I'm on The West Wing. I'm on season 1 still. I'm on episode 12, and I'm like, yo, I still got 4 episodes to go of the season for the first season of the show. So that goes to show you. Wait, Phil just mentioned seasons on shows aren't as long as you guys complain about. Like, oh my God, it was 8 great episodes, bro. We used to have 20 great episodes. Those who grew up watching Seinfeld, I caught Seinfeld on the reruns. I used to watch Seinfeld on the weekdays right before The Simpsons and right before whatever was showing on Fox at 8 o'clock, what American Idol, whatever they had, when I was living in New York. So I remember, some of these shows having seasons of like 20 episodes. So
Yeah.
I get it.
Can I give you a suggestion since you like those type of style shows?
What's up? Talk to me.
So do you remember the show 24?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kiefer Sutherland, the actor.
Yeah, I watched the Designated Survivor.
That show was what I was going to say. Yes, you would like that show.
I love that show, but that last season on Netflix was not it.
No, it's a completely different
It was
direction.
trash. It went left.
Yeah.
And not like Beyonce to the left. It just went left. Like it went to Carajo land at this point. But yeah, House of Dragons, man. I just wish you guys would have captivated the audience a little bit more. Some of these episodes. I do think a lot of the twists and turns when it comes to the political side that you guys did on the episode was pretty dope. But I just wish you guys did better. Now that I'm getting away from the House of Dragons, there's one thing about me I want to say to people is I'm very transparent. So when I say I'm very transparent is I'm an open book. You can judge me for how you judge me. You can say your opinion about me. I could care less about your opinion. But what I do want to say, though, is I do want to shout out a couple of people who have been watching the podcast. Every episode that drops, whether it be the first 3 episodes or even now, they'll send me a DM, they'll make a comment, and they'll shout me out. One of the videos that I have currently right now on social media that's kind of trending is an episode where I reacted to a video of a gentleman saying, if a woman, if you believe in women's intuition, why can't you feel, if you can feel in your woman's intuition that a man's cheating on you, why don't you feel when he's not happy in the relationship? And, I said message, and I went on a whole rant. But because of that video going so popular and going so viral, people have DM'd me a couple of times and asked me to give more relationship advice. This person I'm about to read this message, she DM'd me it like a couple of days ago, and she said to me like, "Yo, Jay, let me know what you think, but just don't mention my name." So I'm not gonna mention your name. Just say I can't use that letter, because if I use that letter, people don't know who you are. Miss T. Okay. Miss T's told me, "Yo, Jay, I don't know how to say this to you, but I'm in a toxic relationship, but I don't know if it's really a toxic relationship. From what I can tell, I can't speak around him. Every time I tell him how I think or feel, it implies that I'm trying to be remotely negative about him or remotely negative to him, and he takes it as an attack, and he flips the script on me rather than us sitting down and having a conversation as two grown adults. I'm very empathetic about what he's going through in his life right now because he just lost his job. He's currently interviewing for new positions. He's been out of work now for 2 months. So I know he has a lot on his plate. So I try to put myself in his shoes and understand what he's going through. Yo, he is very extremely career oriented. So him losing his job threw a wrench in our relationship, not because he was the primary breadwinner. It was more so, it seems that he grew up in a traditional household where the man is supposed to be the breadwinner, and he puts a lot of pressure on himself because he wants to hold up to that expectations of how great his mom and dad's relationship was. And he wants to put that on us. Granted, we've only been together for 2 years. We're not on the track to get married just yet. We're still trying to figure out a couple of things with our relationship. He is getting some offers, and he's still interviewing for other positions, but I know it's stressing him out. Jay, how do I let him know, like, hey, I'm sympathetic about what you're going through. I want to have a full conversation with you, but I don't want you to flip the script on me. P.S. Jay, I probably shouldn't say this.
Don't say it.
Oh, no, I'm reading the message because she put a P.S. at the end of it. No, I probably shouldn't say this. Is her still saying it?
Oh.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't say it, but ever since he lost his job, he's been spending a lot more time outside of the house. Sometimes he comes home at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. It's kind of weird because we live in Orlando, and I know the clubs close at 2 o'clock. Even if he goes to an after hour spot, it closes by 4. So why is he coming home at 4 a.m., 5 a.m.? One day he came home, the sun beat him before he got home. That's kind of crazy.
Ooh.
Jay, I know I'm feeling some type of way because, he's stressing, but is this him she worded that wrong. Is this him showing out because he's not feeling fulfilled as a man and maybe he's cheating on me on the low, or is just him not feeling fulfilled as a man because of what's going on in his relationship? Jay, let me know what you think. I'll be watching the podcast. Keep up the good work. Miss T, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that DM. It was a pretty long-winded DM, but I do appreciate it. I'm going to be honest with you. Speaking as a man, I'm transparent. I myself lost my job maybe a year or some change ago. I went through a big career change. In that career change, I still am single. But I was talking to somebody at the time. But me being so career oriented for that specific company that I was working for, and I was doing great things with the company, getting emails and text messages after I was let go from people who worked with me and people who were my subordinates telling me how much they miss me, this and the third. Let him know that feeling is gonna go away. You gotta pick yourself up sooner or later. And I'm not just saying that as a man, I'm saying that period. You gotta pick yourself up sooner or later. Losing your job is a tough thing. Losing your job is something that's gonna, how do I say this? It's something that's gonna make you feel like shit. It's kind of like going through a breakup of a very committed relationship that you're in. A lot of us maybe not like our jobs. A lot of us may like our jobs. It's gonna take him some time to get through that. But you saying that it's been 3 months since he lost his job, if I'm not mistaken, you said?
2 months. 2 months.
2 months. 2 months since he lost his job. Sorry. It's. I'm gonna say it's not more than enough time, but he's started. This should be the point in time now. He's turning the corner of, all right, now I felt sorry for myself. Now I need to get myself back up and go back to my ascension to where I was going. Mm-hmm. I'll say this to the other note that you mentioned. Still be sympathetic to him. Try to sit down and have a conversation with him. If this is a man that's similar to myself, I'm speaking me, Jay Derosier. Similar to myself, the best thing you could possibly do to him is maybe cook him a nice dinner. Have Catered to You by Beyonce playing. Just make him feel like a man one night. And when you make him feel like a man that night, just sit down at the dinner table. Make sure you got him all buttered up and laid back. You know what I'm saying? Not buttered up literally. That's kind of wild. But you butter him up, you lay him back, and you just have him as laid back, get his shield and his guard down as low as possible, and sit down and just have a conversation with him. Whether it's after dinner, after a glass of wine, whether it's if you give him, some weed to smoke or whatever the case is, just make him relax as much as possible and just say, hey, babe, I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you right now, but I just want to have an honest conversation with you. The conversation I want to have with you is, lately since you lost your job, I know you're not feeling yourself. Let me know as a woman, what am I doing or what am I not doing to make you feel as comfortable as possible? And then you have to say as a woman, as your partner. Because I truly think if you don't understand your partner and have that communication, your relationship's not going to work. You guys have been at it for 2 years. The fact that you can't have a communication with him like this might be the detriment of your relationship. Straight up. Might be the detriment of your relationship. They're speaking as somebody who's been in toxic relationships or has been the toxic one in relationships in my past. And I've grown to be a better man than I was before. So the last point about you think he's cheating because he's going out all the time, blah, 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 this, that, and the third.
He's playing NCAA. What are you talking about?
He ain't playing no damn NCAA. Well, he's trying to run the pistol. He's trying to run the pistol formation probably on the center with somebody else. But no seriousness. What I'll tell you is that's another conversation you need to have with him. Just let him know, hey, how you feeling? Don't be one of those that waits till he falls asleep and go through his phone because you're going to make it worse than it already is going to be. I personally think women or men, you go through somebody's phone looking for something, you go and find it. You go and find it. And if it was like toxic Jay back in my heyday, when I was really toxic, hey, I'm going to put something in my phone for you to find it. If you want to keep going through my stuff, I'm going to put something in there so you can find it. But like I said, just sit down and have the conversation with him. If you don't feel it's not aligning up, I would say then you got to look in yourself and say to yourself like, yo, do you really want to stick around and wait till he comes back on the upswing? Or do you want to just leave it as is and say like, hey, because of what you're going through, I don't know if I can handle this relationship anymore because you're displacing your anger, your resentment, your insecurities, or maybe your inadequacies, how you feel about what you may be inadequate or insecure about losing your job onto me. I can't live like this. I'm going to have to separate, or you just take a break. Take a break, but don't take a break and have someone else break your back. Just take a break from the relationship is what I'm saying, Miss T. I hope that answered your question, I guess. But, I'm not the relationship guru, but I'm going to be honest with you about how I feel about certain things. Speaking of relationships, there's a little trend on social media that's going on, and it's been going on for a while. I even took part in this trend because I have a trending video that went viral with like 1 million views on Instagram right now, where it's the balloon popping dating videos or the 20v1 videos you see on YouTube and TikTok and all this stuff. Can I get some red balloons right here, please?
There you go.
Okay, let me hold my balloons. I'm gonna hold my balloons just like this. All right. So for my visual people, and maybe people who probably see this on TikTok or something, you see me holding some balloons. I'm not gonna pop them, or whatever. But I think this trend needs to die down. The reason why I say I think this trend needs to die down is because of two reasons. The first reason is because every time I watch some of these videos, some of these clips, a lot of you guys who are critiquing the women in these clips are critiquing them for dumbass shit. I literally saw a video last week, and it was of this girl. I follow her on Instagram now because she was fine as hell to me. Fine light skin John. But a guy popped his balloon not because she wasn't beautiful, not because she didn't have a good job, not because she wasn't educated, not because she didn't dress well or anything like that, or even she didn't have, I guess, the body type that he prefers. He popped his balloon because her toes and her nails weren't done. And what I mean by done, they weren't painted. They were done like they were manicured, but they weren't painted. And that's why he popped his balloon. Shit like that pisses me the fuck off. I'm going to be honest with y'all, and I'm about to go on a crazy ass rant. And this is to men specifically. This is just to men specifically. Women, I've kicked y'all back in enough with some of the fuck shit y'all do on my Twitter and all that stuff. This is for men specifically. And this is speaking as a man who used to do dumb shit. And this is me trying to speak retroactively. I'm trying to speak from a place of where I've learned and where I want to be better, and I've grown to become better.
Introspectively.
Thank you. Introspectively. Yo, with what's going on in this day and age about the women who only want men for or if you make this much money or that much money. Women who only want men who don't have, the women who choose and pick men who only have like, or hustlers or drug dealers because they don't want a nigga who got a regular 9-to-5 job. All the bullshit that's going on, my nigga, if you have a woman who's genuinely interested in you, who's there for you, who's willing to ride for you, my nigga, don't be petty over some fuck shit like her nails ain't done. That's the first thing I want to kick a nigga back in for when it comes to these balloon popping videos. The second thing I want to kick people's back in when it comes to balloon popping videos, this is for women now. I saw a video where a gentleman was well groomed. He dressed well. He dressed all right. Like, I don't really judge people's fashion sense, but he dressed all right. Like, I guess to the fashionistas who were on the balloon popping panel there. Literally, he has a great job, makes over 100K a year. He was 6'3" or 6'4". He was a pretty tall dude with dreads. Like, he was a pretty tall dude. And he was like about a brown skin complexion, a little bit lighter than I am. So pretty much everything that I guess the typical modern woman wants. But the reason why they popped the balloon on him because he wasn't exciting. They asked him what he does in his spare time. He said he paints and he watches anime because he doesn't like going outside and being out in the streets and all that stuff. He'd rather be at home with his significant other, getting to know each other a little bit more, cooking with each other, or going on dates together where they can enjoy experiences. They popped their balloons because they said they felt like he wasn't exciting. Ladies, there is slim pickings for y'all out in these streets. I don't give a fuck if a nigga got $1 million in his bank account or he got $10 in his bank account. I don't give a fuck if a nigga is 5'8" or 6'8". I don't give a fuck if a nigga is 180 or 380 when it comes to pounds. It's slim pickings for y'all. Lately, I don't know if you noticed, and it's not me trying to shit on the LGBTQ community. Women specifically, you guys are getting the short end of the stick lately, especially black women. You guys are getting the short end of the stick lately because we're coming to a day and age now in 2024 where a lot of men who were in the closet, they're willing to be like, yo, I don't need a beard to keep up with appearances. Like, I can just be myself. And for those who don't know what a beard is a guy who is gay who keeps a lover who's a woman, so they save face so people doesn't think they're gay.
What?
That's what a beard is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what a beard is. There's a lot of guys who are like, I don't need a beard anymore when it comes to my love life. I can just be open and be myself. Women, you have slim pickings. I saw some statistic that was like it was like a girl on the street and they did like the statistic. She was like, oh, I want to date a guy who's over 6'5". Okay, they show all the men in America who are over 6'5". She was like, I need a man who is between like, I think she said between like 210 and like 230 when it comes to weight. They showed a statistic and then like the men just started getting smaller. The pot just started getting smaller and smaller. Then she's like, oh, I need him to make over 150K a year. Yo, it literally showed men with those things that she wants on average in America is less than 0.048% of men in America are in that realm that she wants, of what she wants from a man. I think personally, when it comes to relationships, y'all, and this goes to the balloon popping videos, you guys are creating a terrible trend that's gonna follow the generation behind us. And you guys need to, like, I'm not gonna say you guys need to stop it because some of you guys are putting out great content. There's a young lady, I forgot her name. Her name slips my mind for the life of me. But she's producing pretty good content when it comes to the balloon popping videos. No one's being disrespectful. Everybody's being respectful when they pop balloons and all that stuff. But you guys are setting a terrible trend because now everything is so superficial. Literally, I saw a video where somebody popped, like, all 6 dudes popped the balloon because Shorty was a little bit heavier. She had a little fupa, you know what I'm saying? But she was a cute girl. And when she described herself and said the stuff that she wanted to do, she was a perfect girl for most of these dudes, and all these dudes are asking for their balloons back. But she was like, nah, it's too late. You popped your balloon already because you judged me just off my appearance and not me as a person. Yo, people, black men, black women, white men, white women, Hispanic men, Hispanic women, everybody in between and everybody far and wide, y'all got to do better when y'all pick relationships or pick the people y'all interested in because you might lose a good one popping your balloon too soon. Real talk. All right. Enough of that serious topic. We're giving you guys dating advice. Now, I want to talk about our favorite segment on the show every week, and it's none other than, Bro, What You On?
I'm like, bro, what you on?
So I did warn y'all a long time ago that when I do Bro, What You On, it's going to be a lot of Florida man stuff on it, and this one specifically is a Florida man. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you guys to none other. Hold on, let me get this man's name right. His name is Tito Evan Lloyd. He is a 39-year-old man from none other than Florida, Tampa area specifically. As you can see on the screen, Florida man pulls a gun on his former boss, threatens to kill everyone over $75. Now, I bet you're wondering, why he want to kill anybody over $75? Like, what happened with the $75? Like, did they take it out his last check? Come to find out, the $75 wasn't on his last check. When you read the news article, come to find out, it seems that the $75 that they took out was because he got fired on that day, and that $75 was, I guess, the last 2 hours he was scheduled to work that day, and they fired him. So he didn't get the extra $75 on his check or whatever the case may be. So he came back to his job when he finally got his last check, pulled out the Yamin, you know what I'm saying, the little, you know, the Nina, the Pinto, the Santa Maria, you know, he pulled it out and threatened his boss to give him that $75. My man, you just gave up your freedom over $75. And I hate to say this out loud, but yeah, for those who didn't see the screen, who are probably listening to the podcast on DSPs right now, for those who don't know what DSPs is, digital streaming platforms, for those who listen to DSPs right now and listening to podcasts, yeah, the gentleman was black.
Uh-oh.
I know his name is Tito, but he was a black man. Yes. I know usually Florida man is usually a white man, but this was a black man. Pulled out his gun over $75. My God, the gun that you pulled out was probably more than the $75 that you bitching about.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk. Like, that's what gets me on top of that. But he was charged for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He was a felon carrying a concealed weapon. So mind you, he was already arrested with a felony before on his record. Ooh. And he also got felony on possession of a firearm. My guy, you threw away your life again, I guess, because I didn't look up what his first felony was for, but you threw away your life again over $75. My dude, I'm going to be honest with you, that $75 wasn't worth it. As a black man, dog, speaking to another black man, $75 was not worth it. But, excuse me, you gots to be the dumbest motherfucker on earth to throw away your life over $75 goddamn dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, can I give him a bro what you
Like,
on?
bro, what you on?
So with that being said, y'all, this was another great episode of the Purgatory. Oh, sorry, I said Purgatory Podcast. That's my old podcast name. Sorry.
Hey, remix.
This is another episode of Serious Sarcasm Podcast, y'all. My name is Jay Derosier. I do appreciate you guys listening in. To those who have been DMing me, if you guys keep DMing me for relationship advice and my opinion on certain things, I'll be more than happy to give it to y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna do this every episode. I'll probably do one episode or one out of every 3 episodes. I give you guys dating advice from my DMs or whatever the case may be. But please, if you do decide to shoot me a DM with relationship advice, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not check my personal DMs. I don't even check my personal notifications on social media. Please DM the podcast page on Instagram. It's Serious Sarcasm Pod at Serious Sarcasm Pod.
Oh,
so for those who do that, that's cool. If you want to shoot me a follow on my personal page, that's cool with me too. No stress. I'm cool with that too. Just letting you know I don't check my personal DMs often, if ever. So with that being said, it's been another great episode of Serious Sarcasm Pod. Appreciate you. I'm signing off. Y'all be safe.